SexyHackers.com.
Sexy Hackers Clothing presents a podcast where anything can happen, so long as it's written down in a book and read out loud by the host. Warning. Do not read this book straight through from beginning to end. These pages contain many different adventures that you may have on what starts out as the worst day of your life. From time to time, as you read along, you will be asked to make a choice. Your choice may lead to success or disaster. The adventures you have are the result of your choices. You are responsible because you choose. After you make a choice, follow the instructions to see what happens to you next. Think carefully before you make a decision. Sometimes you have one of those days where nothing goes right. Even if you do manage to make it through your summer vacation in one piece, you may not live happily ever after. Good luck.
SexyHackers.com.
Life is like a story with many paths to choose. I gotta get some good friends to help me make it through. So here's the plan, just take my hand, the adventure's just begun. And all we have to do is turn to page fun.
And welcome to Turn to Page Fun, the only podcast where I, your host, Nick Vera, read a bunch of Choose Your Own Adventure game books and the like with a group of my very, very funny friends. An idea that is so great that I immediately stole it from my partner and froze her out of the production process. My partner is a woman. She's a very talented woman. She is not an it. She is not a furry-faced cousin that wears a hat.
No, indeed.
No, indeed.
Or
she's lovely.
Shape-shifting clown monster.
She might be a shape-shifting clown
that's
monster.
true. You don't know?
I don't know because she's only shown me one of her true forms.
That's
and or hasn't shown me her true form yet, if she could shapeshift.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for that other arm to get ripped off.
We all float at Nick's house.
We all float at Nick's house. Some fun at the top of the podcast at my partner's expense. Welcome. Today we are continuing The Worst Day of Our Lives. Written by Edward Packard.
We're also reading The Worst Day of Your Life.
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we are reading The Worst Day of Your Life, but it is The Worst Day of Our Lives because I totally fucked up the intro. With me in studio today, reading through Worst Day of Your Life by Edward Packard. Over on my very far left, musician, comedian, Mr. Brian Bayer. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Nick. Glad
Hello.
to be back
Yeah.
yet again for the worst day of our life.
Yes, Worst Day of Our Life. Now, Brian, do you have a partner that might be a shape-shifting space alien?
It's entirely possible,
Yeah.
I suppose.
See, that's the problem with space
she could
shifting
be.
aliens because
That's
they
true.
shift.
But if so, I'm cool with it. It seems to be working out well.
Oh.
She could be a witch too.
Oh,
Doesn't have to be an alien. Could be a magical witch. We have enough cats.
you do have a lot of cats.
A lot of familiar.
Are they cats or are they familiars? Thank
Ooh,
you.
They could be. Well, they all have their own little voices that I do for them. To be fair, I'm the one speaking for them, but you know, that's what people do, right?
Yep. I actually do that with my cat as well.
I have a voice for my dog. I do.
Yeah.
I
I
think
have
it's a lot
entire
more.
conversations with my dog.
Yeah, well, why not?
Does anybody else have like a voice their animal as entirely disrespectful to them all the time?
Yeah.
Because my cat tells me to fuck off and that I need to lose weight a lot.
Oh, every time my dog leaves the room, I always have him go, "Later, loser."
And our sound engineer is nodding a
Yep.
big yes on
Yep.
that.
Yes.
Over on my, moving away from Brian, to my left, I have a comedian, improviser, and youth sucking bedlam, Miss Stacy Pawlowski.
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, howdy. Last week we found out that you suck the youth out of children
Yeah.
like a vampire.
Yeah, and they pay me for it. And by the way, I definitely live with the warlock.
Okay. Yeah.
He has books about wizardry and shit.
Does he?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we got all kinds of any sort of random esoteric thing we might find at a.
Does Eric have the Satanic Bible?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. There's some
he
weird
should,
symbols on
because
things.
more people should, because that's just a list of ways to treat
To actually be
people
nice.
decently.
Yeah.
It actually is not as.
They're
bad as
actually
people
real
think it
nice.
is.
I know.
What is this, the Halloween episode?
Oh, we've upset the wasp in the room. Well, I'm just going to leave with my Christianity. And then over on my right, I have a comedian, a blogger, and professional, not Ron Swanson, Mr. Ron Swanson.
I just have the same name.
Yep, just the same name.
Also work in the Parks
Yes.
Department.
Yes. But Ron, you are not Nick Offerman.
I am not Nick Offerman. No.
Are you sure?
I am positive.
Okay.
But definitely Ron Swanson.
But
I am
definitely Ron
definitely a
Swanson.
Ron
The
Swanson.
original Ron Swanson.
In fact, if you ever
My
were
father's actually the original.
Oh.
I'm a junior.
you are a junior all the
I
way
am.
through, the whole name? Oh.
Mr.
Can I call
Swanson.
you Junior or Raju?
Raju. The kids can call you Raju.
RJ.
That was my uncle's nickname for me.
Oh, yeah?
Growing up, yeah, RJ.
RJ?
I
Oh,
can see
that's
it.
that's sweet. So anyway, if you happen to see Nick Offerman, please do us a favor and punch him in the face for copying
He's so
our
nice.
good friend Ron Swanson. But say
No, he's
Ron
not.
Swanson sends his regards. That's right, the Ron Swanson.
That's
This
right.
is Ron Swanson.
That sentiment comes straight from Nick, and it's not the views of
Yeah.
Turn to Page Fun.
It's not like he created the character. It was probably the writers or creators of.
Michael Schur.
Anyway, Michael
Yeah.
Schur. No, I don't want
Michael
to punch
Schur.
him.
Well, so if you find Michael Schur,
Right.
Don't attack them because it was a fun character.
I feel like Nick Offerman would
Like
probably
if
punch us
they made
back,
Ron
too.
Swanson, he was a terrible character. Then I'd say yes. Attack.
No,
Yeah.
people love him.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even
Can't
watch
you
Parks and
see,
Rec,
Chief?
and I like
I'm
them.
a human being.
that's right.
Yeah. Or just don't punch anyone.
Yeah, that's a good stance.
I don't like that stance. Well, right now we are reading The Worst Day of Your Life by Edward Packard. And so far on The Worst Day of Your Life, you, the protagonist, have you shot a rocket onto your neighbor's roof that caught the roof on fire. As a result, you couldn't go with your family on their vacation to Hawaii.
Such bullshit.
You had to go to Moomud, Ohio.
They weren't gonna take you to Hawaii anyway. This is just.
You were
They were gonna
suspended.
look for any excuse to not take you.
This was just their plan the whole time.
Yes, they didn't want to take you, and this just so happened to happen.
The suspension probably didn't help either.
So you've gone to Moomud, Ohio, where your Uncle Norbert has a pig farm, and you're going to work that pig farm this whole summer to pay off that roof. On your way, the bus broke down to Moomud. You had to abandon your shitty chicken sandwich. You walked into town, got picked up by a storm chaser. A tornado came through. He dropped you off at a gas station that was closed. You fell into a poo stream.
Many cuts later.
Yeah.
Many
not
cuts later, you
this
come out of the poo stream. You meet a guy who's looking for his pet alligator / lover,
Old man Grumback
old man Grumback.
is the man's name, not the gator.
Not the gator. The gator's name was Sawtooth, but everybody called her Snappy. Because you want your animals to have two names. You found Snappy. He drops you off at your Uncle Norbert's house. You were attacked by a bull. The bull almost gored you. But
No. We stood our ground with that bull.
we didn't stand our ground.
Yes,
we
we-
huddled down. We covered our
right.
eyes and our ears so that we didn't have to see or hear ourselves being horribly mauled.
But we still stood our ground. We may have been slightly cowardly.
We
But-
didn't fight or flight. We just froze.
We froze.
That is
froze.
actually on the whole. What is that?
spectrum of
Yeah, on the spectrum of
reaction?
thing, freeze is also an option.
Yeah, I guess it's
It's-
right.
well,
not
it clearly
just-
worked against
It's
the
not
bull.
just fight or flight. It's fight or
Yeah.
flight or freeze is what actually happens to you.
And interestingly enough, we have not had one ending yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
It's
we
all
have
been
not.
one story.
Oh yeah, because after the bull,
Right.
the bull went and trampled the
Yeah.
neighbor's
Yes.
flowers.
After the bull, then your dirty hick cousins come running up. talking about how they got the bowl back, but not before it trampled the neighbor's flowers. Now the neighbor's coming up in her Porsche to bitch about her flowers, and then your
Rightfully so.
Yes.
and then your hick cousin was all like, "Oh, let's go swimming instead." And we decided that we were going to go swimming.
Right. Yes.
Because the shower at this farm, this pig farm, is broken,
And it's a rain bucket.
Yeah.
To clean
Which is
ourselves
also their drinking water.
right? So you got to be real careful.
But your uncle didn't even give you the option of the stream or the river or whatever.
So
Oh boy.
that's what,
Norbert doesn't clean himself very often.
Doesn't sound like it.
that's what we've decided to do is
Yes.
follow our cousin Mitchell
To the watering hole.
Mitchell.
to the watering hole for a little bit of a swim. Mm-hmm. Before we go for a swim, could we get something to eat? You ask your cousin Mitchell. I'm hungry. Sure, he says. The two of you go into the kitchen and find a jar of peanut butter. There's no bread. So he puts the peanut butter between two jelly donuts.
Yep.
It's surprisingly good.
I mean,
I'm okay with that.
PBJD.
After you wash down breakfast with a can of orange soda and put on your swimsuit, Mitchell leads you across the muddy field to a high wooden fence. The top of the fence is decorated with sharp metal spikes and barbed wire. That is not decoration.
No. No.
Functional.
Let's just decorate this fence with some festive electricity. and barbed wire.
Keeps the gators out, tell you that.
You expect me to climb over that thing? You ask. Oh, all right, your cousin answers, leading you to a small hole in the fence. The two of you scramble through, then push your way through a thick screen of evergreen bushes on the other side.
Oh, now it's become like a memoir, childhood memoir. That's what I'm picturing.
You can hardly believe your eyes. There before you lie a couple of acres of velvety green lawn. A tennis court is off to one side, and off in the distance is a mansion big enough to hold a fleet of jumbo jets. Because that's where you want to keep your jumbo jets.
In a mansion, yes.
Mansion.
That's a huge mansion.
What?
A fleet of jumbo
Is
jets.
this like a secret private estate in
It's that
Moomud,
lady.
Ohio?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's the lady. Oh, it must be swimming in her pool.
Well, also,
think
like,
so.
I mean, cost of living in Mood Mud is very low.
That's true. That's true.
So your wealth can go a long way.
That's how you do it, man.
All right, so we're.
And they have a Walmart.
It's true. I think this is the owner of the Walmart.
She's a Walton.
Yeah, it's the Waltons.
Best of all, shimmering in the sun, is an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Not bad, you say. Then you run as fast as you can and dive into the cool blue water. You swim up and down a couple of times, feeling the dirt and grime wash off your body. You asshole. You don't even
rail in the pool of dirt.
There's a fucking shower at every pool
You don't care.
to wash off
Moomud.
your open wounds as you
Yeah.
jump in.
The chlorine burns in the wounds, but you don't care. You're
To
free.
sanitize them.
That's how you work through a rainstorm to finally come out clean on the other side.
Then you swim over to the side of the pool and bob gently in the water next to Mitchell. You're starting to get stomach cramps.
Oh.
You never should have eaten before you went swimming.
Oh, jeez.
Especially the giant jelly donut sandwich.
I don't know. That's probably what I'm going to have when I get home. It sounds like great
Good idea.
depression food.
Like food that they would eat in the Great Depression?
No, that's beet
that's
soup.
great service
No,
in
that was
my
like-
depression.
Rats and things.
I filled
I
a
don't know what
hole
they eat.
inside of me with food that will not be filled by other things like love and acceptance.
Oh, God damn it.
But you can fill it instead with fun
Yeah, yes. Or food.
or food.
So who owns all this? You manage to ask. Mitchell grins. Mrs. Barlow, the lady in the Porsche. You wince as you remember her ferocious manner. How do you know?
Yeah, you never.
She lets you use her pool? You ask. Of course not, Mitchell says. Why do you think we're here right now? While she's busy with Papa, she'll never know anybody's been in her precious pool, except for the fact now that it's pink from you
This family-
swinging it.
Bleeding.
This family's a bunch of assholes. Like they just destroy
really are.
her flowers and act like they're not at fault, and then like she's the like terrible person
Hey.
because
This is the heartland of America. How dare you? These people are patriots.
Unless she notices the dirt floating on the surface, you think to yourself.
There's definitely a Band-Aid just floating around there, too.
You look toward the house uneasily. Isn't there anyone else around? Sure. She has a cook and maids and stuff, he tells you, but they'll pretend they don't see us. They don't like her any more than we do.
Are we going to find out why she's a bad person?
Because she's rich.
Because she's rich.
Yeah, it sucks being, rich is bad, but
Yeah.
so far, like, we've wronged her.
She just has nice things, and we're taking advantage of them.
But she doesn't have any family, you ask. The only one who lives here is Craig, but he's never around. He's always off in some military academy or at one of those stuck-up camps for rich kids. Zing! A 4-inch dart whiffles past your head and hits the side of the pool. Uh-oh, looks like I was wrong, says Mitchell. Craig is home.
Did he just?
and he's throwing darts at us.
He's just stealth crept up on you. He's a Marine sniper.
That's what you learn at those
My
rich
God,
kid
there's
camps.
Craig. You retrieve the dart. It has a suction tip, but it was traveling fast enough to do some real damage if it had hit you. The two of you turn around and find a pudgy kid scowling at you from across the pool.
Oh boy!
In his hand is a toy dart gun. He's loading it with another dart. What do you think you're doing? Oh, wait, no. What do you think you're doing? You ask angrily.
Okay.
You could have hurt somebody with that thing.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can. I got seriously hurt with... No, that was an arrow. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, arrows.
Let me tell you about that later. So, Craig replies, what do you think you're doing? You're on private property. You want to get a hold of the dart gun to break it in half, but Mitchell puts a hand on your shoulder. Take it easy, he whispers. Craig requires special handling. Let me talk to him.
Okay.
If you take the dart gun away from Craig, turn to page 45. If you let Mitchell talk to him, turn to page 97. So what are we
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Special handling makes me nervous.
There's
Like,
going to be some uncomfortable stuff coming, isn't
I mean, I want him to face consequences, but
I
probably
say,
Well, I mean,
better to let Mitchell, handle this. You don't know this guy.
Mitchell.
After all the other things that have happened in this worst day of our life, it's just a dart gun. He's fine.
Yeah. So we're gonna leave Mitchell to do this
We're
because
gonna let Mitchell take care of this.
it doesn't. For me, it doesn't seem like Craig is wrong here.
Yeah,
No,
we
he's
are
not.
in his property. I mean,
but I don't think we should grab his stuff away. Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
we shouldn't break his stuff because we went on their property.
yeah.
All right. So we're gonna find out what happens when we let Mitchell handle Craig right after this quick word from our sponsors.
SexyHackers.com.
This episode of Turn to Page Fun brought to you by Barlow Brand Jelly Donuts. Are you a poor country hick? Are you depressed? Well, if you're either, go ahead and try some Barlow Brand Jelly Donuts. That's right. Jelly donuts so good they can replace bread. Use them with peanut butter sandwiches. That's right. Eat them, you monster. Eat that jelly donut. Fill up that hole inside of you with jelly and peanut butter and jelly and donut. That's right. You know you want it. You know you want to eat that thing because nobody else cares about you, do they? Barlow cares about your money. So come on down and get some Barlow Brand Jelly Donuts here at the Moo Mud Corner Store. We got jelly donuts for all of your depressed country bumpkin hick needs. That's right. Barlow, where we set the bar real low.
SexyHackers.com.
And we're back from the most depressing predatory ad we've ever done.
I don't know. It kind of spoke to me.
So we've decided we were at Craig Barlow's house, and we were stealing his pool after breaking into his property.
Yes, we were stealing his pool.
And
We're Carmen San Diego.
Pool heist.
And he shot darts at us.
Yeah.
And then you got mad because, he's the wrong one.
Yeah. How dare he defend his property? Castle law.
After you jumped into his Olympic-sized pool without even showering the poo and mud and blood off of yourself.
Leaving a streak of brown and red as you swam across it.
Living biohazard, you.
But, he's the wrong one for shooting a toy dart at you.
Right, yeah.
All right. So rather than jumping out of the pool and fighting this kid, we decided to let your cousin Mitchell take care of him.
Take care of him.
His country charm.
With his country charm. Hey, Craig, when did you get home? Mitchell asks in a breezy voice. Craig stops loading his dart gun for a second. He seems puzzled to be hearing a friendly question. What?
Yeah, he was puzzled.
There might be a dog in the studio.
Maybe.
He seems puzzled to be hearing a friendly question coming from Mitchell.
Hearing a dog.
Yesterday, I think it was, or no, the day before, says Craig, talking slowly as he goes back to loading his gun. This is clearly a guy who's not up to loading a dart and carrying on a conversation at the same time.
Oh my God.
Come on, Craig, put that thing down. I want to hear what you've been doing. I bet you have a lot of new toys and stuff since I saw you last. Craig smiles a little. Mitchell is a genius, you think. Bless you.
Sorry.
Human kindness and empathy. Just imagine. What a strange thing.
Craig is probably more than eager to show off his newest possessions. With his creepy personality, the chances of his having any friends to show off to are probably next to none. Wait, no, what?
Wow.
He's not creepy. He's shooting a dart at people who trespassed onto his property.
We're really judgmental.
Yeah, I don't like us anymore.
You know what? Maybe you're having the worst day of your life because you're an asshole.
Yes.
Maybe you deserve this.
Maybe that's what's happening here. Is it's not really that bad of a day, but you're just an asshole. I do have something really super, Craig says. Something my Uncle Steve sent me from Brazil. Ooh. Mitchell lets his eyes widen and his mouth fall open. Gosh, do you think my cousin and I could take a look? Craig hesitates, then puts down his dart gun and motions for the two of you to follow him.
Yeah.
Luck is turning around.
Maybe this will be the best day of our life. Probably not, though. We're a jerk.
You and Mitchell climb out of the pool, jam your shoes on your feet, and follow Craig down a flagstone path and a gravel road into a barn. Inside the barn, you see a large cage with iron bars. And inside the cage, you're shocked to see a jaguar
Oh, no.
nursing two small cubs.
Oh, no. Oh, Steve.
Where on earth did you get them? You say. I told you, Craig says, Uncle Steve. He brought them from a guy who captured them in the jungle. Pretty neat, huh?
Kind of illegal.
Not okay with this family anymore.
Not so neat, you say.
That's so neat.
Don't you know jaguars are an endangered species? It's illegal to capture them and smuggle them into another country. But they're terrific looking animals, Mitchell says, giving you a swift kick in the rear. You know, they're being warned not to irritate. You know you're being warned not to irritate Craig. But you make a mental note to do something about all this as soon as you leave.
Oh, no.
Bring the hammer down.
Set him free.
Gosh, Craig, Mitchell says, I'll bet you're the only kid in town with a pet jaguar.
That's a safe bet.
Yeah.
3 pet jaguars, gloats Craig. And they just arrived this morning. I've been letting them rest, but now that she's busy feeding her cubs, I think I'll go inside the cage so I can get a look at them.
Have fun in there, Craig.
All right, bye, Craig.
See you later.
Have fun. He starts to unbolt the cage, motionally excited to you and Mitchell. Come on.
No.
You look at the jaguars. They seem dazed and listless. Maybe they're still feeling the effects of jet lag
Or
the
drugs.
tranquilizers.
Drugs.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, drugs.
They really don't look any scarier than sleeping cats. If you keep Craig happy and enter the cage, turn to page 75. If you choose not to enter the cage, turn to page 106.
I'm not going in that
No.
cage.
No, I don't
I
care
think-
about keeping
I
Craig
think
happy
no.
at this
Yeah.
point.
You don't want to go meet
Because
some jaguars?
that jaguar is going to get out.
We're close
Yes.
enough.
I was worried that Craig was going to sick the jaguar on us.
Oh,
and
right.
maybe, but
There's not an option to just shove Craig in the cage.
Lock him in.
No, I guess that's.
So it is unanimous that we are
Murder.
not
It
going
is.
to fuck around
I'm
with
not
this
going to
animal trafficking
enable
child.
these monsters anymore.
Okay. We're not going in there, and neither are you say, unless you'd like to be mauled by an angry mother for disturbing her cubs.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
I thought you were cool, Craig taunts, but you're a fraidy cat. Before you can stop him, Craig opens the door. He takes a couple of steps toward the mother and her babies. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. With amazing power and swiftness,
Yeah.
the mother is on him. You grab Craig's ankles in a desperate effort to drag him away.
But he's
it's a
already
heroic
dead.
attempt, but you're no match for an angry jaguar. In a second, you feel her claws digging into you. You manage to scurry to the back of the cage before you collapse. When you wake up, the cage is empty. The jaguar, along with her cubs, has left through the open door. You spend the rest of the summer in the hospital. By the time school starts, you're back to normal, except for the long scars on your face and back. A reminder you'll always carry of the worst time of your life. The end.
Wow, that was a long. That was our first ending.
Yeah.
were we able to
way.
pay off the repairs on the roof?
That's the most important.
You were not, so you still have to get a job during school.
All right. Well,
You didn't make any. You had,
well, lesson learned: stay away from mud, whatever.
Rich people.
Ohio, because there's gators
Mud.
and now a
Mud.
jaguar
There's
running
a
around
jaguar.
in that area.
Yeah, there's a jaguar running around in that area, and
I wonder if Craig was he already like dead by the time we tried to
Oh,
put
Craig's
him away?
dead.
Craig
Yeah.
died.
Craig
yeah.
is dead.
I mean,
Craig
they-
was eaten by
They
a
like
jaguar.
they bite through caiman skulls. I think that's how they finish him off. So
Oh,
yeah, Cayman's
Fun.
pretty bad too. so.
yeah.
yeah.
yeah, that, I mean, I feel
So
like
the
that
jaguar
uncle's
went
gonna
off
be
and
really
killed
in a lot of
Sawtooth
trouble.
then. Oh,
That uncle that sent these things.
Oh, Uncle
like,
Steve.
Yeah,
Steve?
Uncle Steve.
his nephew gets eaten. The
Yeah.
neighbor boy gets mauled.
Our cousin's definitely dead too.
Yeah,
No,
right.
well, we haven't met Steve's mom, so or Craig's mom. So is Uncle Steve an Uncle Steve, or is he an Uncle Steve?
Either way, he's in jail.
Yeah.
Or
No,
is
he's
he
back
not
in
in
Brazil.
jail
He's back in
because
Brazil.
he's a South American strongman?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's back in Brazil and he's
He always
on the
brings
run.
these packages of white powder to our house.
This fancy flower.
well, that was a
Mom tells me I'm not allowed to eat the powdered sugar Uncle Steve brings over, but I do anyway, and I feel great every time.
yeah. Hey, let's write a screenplay.
Let's just go run around the house.
Let's go pet this jaguar. I'm faster than a jaguar, guys.
So there we have a lot of chances to go back.
Yeah,
'Cause there
we
were
We have a
options
lot
we
of
made.
choices. This is actually light on endings. This one, it's only 14 endings. That's why we
14
had
endings.
such a long.
I feel like that's the longest storyline because that was 1.5
Right.
full
Let's
episodes.
skip just going to Craig's house.
we're not going to go to.
So you wanna
we don't want to go to Craig's house
Stay
at
and
all.
see what Mrs. Baylor
Well, let's
has
see
to
like
say.
how that played out with
Yeah.
Mrs.
with
Baylor
Barlow.
in her Porsche. So
Do
just
you want to go back and see what happens with Barlow as she pulls up in her Porsche?
yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah. She's
Yeah, I'd like to
ready
go back further eventually if we get a chance.
I think we will.
I think so too. I think that'll come.
This could be Miss Barlow could just hit us with the Porsche and it's over.
That's it, yeah.
You were hit by the Porsche. The end.
The end.
All right. So we're gonna go back a little bit after we were almost mauled by the bull, and our uncle doesn't give a shit about that. We then Mrs. Barlow comes up in her Porsche
Apparently, that's a rite of passage at this house. Just,
Yeah.
just the bull, surviving the bull.
to yell at your uncle for the rightfully so for the
Right.
bull stomping over everything.
Also being a large, dangerous animal that could have mauled other...
That clearly has no pen that stays in.
I mean, everybody knows that if you have a dangerous animal, you should put them in an easily open cage.
Right, with its children, so it's
with children
especially
around.
aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or let it escape and get down to the poop river.
Yeah. Oh, so now we are still covered in poop and dirt. And
We are
blood
still covered in
scratches.
poop and dirt
Yes.
and mud and blood and scratches.
But
Yes.
yeah, let's see what happens with this rich lady.
The Porsche is a real beauty. It's a pleasure just to watch it racing along as it navigates around the ruts in your Uncle Norbert's driveway. When it comes to an abrupt halt right in front of you, it splashes mud in your face.
Of course it does.
Womp womp. Like the equivalent of a skater just spraying ice in your face.
appreciated. Boosh. Yeah, it just does like one of those slides, one of those power slide stops where it just like splashes all.
Teach you to look at my car.
Yeah. It's like one of those great movies where like everything bad happens to him, and so like the effect is like gallons and gallons and gallons of shit just going on to him, and everybody else is fine.
Yeah.
Like right next to him.
Yeah,
Like his
not a
uncle's.
single drop hit anyone. Just all the mud went on him.
I say. I don't know what this old lady sounds like. We'll find. I don't know that she's old. I shouldn't assume. Ageist.
The driver, a woman with beige hair and wearing a lot of fancy jewelry, gets out and stomps over to your uncle. When she whips off her wraparound sunglasses, you can tell by the look in her eyes she is angry. Well, how you doing today, Miss Barlow? Says your uncle, his voice amazingly calm. Norbert skanks. This is the last straw, she replies furiously. That horrid creature of yours has just decimated my flower beds, and I want to know what you're going to do about it. Your uncle takes his beat-up hat off his head, scratches his scalp, and then puts the hat back on. Well, what happened was the poor critter got scared because of the storm, he explains. It was just one of those things that happens once in a while. Once in a while, more like once every few weeks. Well, this time, you're not getting away with it. If you don't pay for the damage, I'll sue. She then lowers her voice to a mean-sounding purr. Unless, of course, you're willing to accept my offer to buy you out of this wretched dump. Your Uncle Norbert clenches his face like a fist.
And just as
These two are real will they, won't they?
Yeah.
Sell my pig farm? Never. He turns to his daughter. Dora, go get some eggs.
I'm hungry.
We're going to give her some eggs.
I'm hangry.
Yes, Papa, she says, skittering off toward the hen house.
He's
Maybe
gonna
the bull
throw
was
eggs at
scared
her.
by the smell of jaguar.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, why doesn't Barlow just sick the Jaguar on him? Then?
She might.
yeah, she might.
Is she aware that there's a Jaguar at her house? I mean, her mansion is this big enough to house a fleet of
Jumbo
jets.
Yeah, you could hide several jaguars.
Yeah, I'm sure it has like 3 or 4 jaguar wings.
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's rooms that she didn't know
The
existed.
cars and the animal.
Yes.
You, Miss Barlow, and your uncle wait in tension-filled silence until your cousin Dora returns.
Mitchell has fucked off and gone swimming.
Oh
Yeah.
He's currently being mauled.
A carton of eggs in her hand. Your Uncle Norbert takes the carton from her and hands it to Miss Barlow. You'll just have to accept my apology, along with a dozen eggs. I'll accept neither, says Miss Barlow. She climbs back into her Porsche and turns on the motor. You'll be hearing from one of my lawyers, she says icily. Then she pulls a fast U-turn and races off.
But she still took the egg.
Spraying mud all over you.
Oh, good
It's just
grief.
grinding its back wheel into you.
At that point, it's your fault for not getting out of the way.
You don't want to get splattered with mud again.
Oh.
So you step back a few feet, right into a big round puddle.
Good grief.
I love how much Ron's loving this. You can feel the mud squishing between your toes as you follow your uncle and your cousin through the patched screen door into the kitchen. You wonder if they feel as dejected as you do.
I lost a whole dozen eggs, too.
She just took those eggs, man.
I'll take your eggs. But you'll hear from my lawyer.
Dinner that night is grim. Yes, it was grim.
Grim indeed.
All right.
Indeed.
There is still no electricity, so you eat by the flickering light from an old oil lamp. Your Aunt Bonnie has served meatloaf and Brussels sprouts covered in gravy as thick as tar. It's a good thing you can't really see what it looks like. You try to pry Brussels sprout loose from the gravy and you listen to your Uncle Norbert. That woman will never give us a moment's peace until she gets her hands on our farm, he says. Your Aunt Bonnie puts her fork down. Her eyes look hollow in the eerie light. Well, Miss Barlow can just forget that idea, she says. Pig farming's your life, Norbert.
And mine, too. No, forever.
You succeeded in prying the Brussels sprout loose. But before you can eat it, your aunt reaches over and pours more gravy over them. Oh, no wonder you're not eating, she says. You need more gravy. Mitchell and Dora are already helping themselves to seconds. You manage to force down a few bites. After dinner, your Aunt Bonnie shows you to your room. You crawl gratefully into bed and bang your head against something hard. It's the pillow. You toss it onto the floor. Better off without it. Your room is over the kitchen. You fall asleep with the oniony smell of leftover meatloaf mingling in with the pungent odor of the pigsty just outside your window.
This really is not a
he
good
is
day.
pretty looking down his nose at this meatloaf after having a
Right,
chicken
is-
or a
Mayonnaise.
whatever sandwich with the mayonnaise with flies in it. I'd be like, yeah, take that meatloaf.
Yeah.
Craving. Like,
You're hungry enough to eat peanut butter jelly donuts. Or did we not? Oh, we didn't
eat
do
those
that in
now.
this reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next morning, you learn all about pigs. There's a simple lifestyle. Roll around in the mud, oink at other pigs, get in the way, and eat, 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 eat. That means the main duty of the pig farmer is to feed, 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 feed. What these pigs love most is a greasy mixture of leftover garbage. They just can't get enough of the stuff, and it's your job to see that they get plenty. It's impossible to empty a bucket of this pig slop into their feeding troughs without splashing it all over your jeans and sneakers. By the end of the summer, when you say goodbye to the pig farming, you've calculated that you've carried 3,239 heavy, smelly buckets of slops.
Oh boy.
But there's a payoff you never expected.
A dozen eggs.
Your arms and shoulders, in fact, your whole body have gotten incredibly strong. Once back in school, you will quickly become a star athlete, excelling in swimming, baseball, gymnastics, and every other sport you try.
Just because you get strong doesn't mean you are good at every sport.
Well, no, you have to be strong and also already an asshole.
Right.
Oh yeah, you got that. And you become the biggest bully in the school.
But gymnastics requires a lot more
Yeah, you have
talent
to
than
be
just
lithe.
being strong.
The summer was your worst, but it looks like it's going to be a great year. So you nerds better watch out. The end. So that was our second ending. Yeah, second ending.
It was
No
better than the
resolution
other
at
one.
all for
No, you
like
just get
Barlow wanting to buy the farm.
yeah,
No.
that never gets explored.
No.
Well, one of those things.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where do we want to go to now? What do we want to go see?
I would like to go way back, like when we decided to walk.
Oh, you
Stay
want
with
to
the- stay with the bus?
Wait till the tow truck comes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's go all the way back there. So we're going to go all the way back to see what happens when the tow truck comes after our bus broke down on the first episode after this quick word from our sponsors.
SexyHackers.com.
Today's episode of Turn to Page Fun is brought to you by Sports!
Sports!
Do you have muscles? Then you can do whatever sports you want!
That's right, muscle sports!
Baseball, swimming, gymnastics, other things, punching nerds!
Football! Punching nerds!
Nerds.
Muscles! They give you the right to do whatever you want!
Whenever you want!
Whoever you want.
And it's all because of
Sports! Sports!
Brought to you by Uncle Norbert's Pig Farm.
SexyHackers.com.
And we're back to Turn to Page Fun.
Right.
All
All of that never happened.
All of that never happened. That's right. All of that never happened. When we went through the book, we decided to just kind of stay at the pig farm, and that made us all ripped, like in Conan the Barbarian, where he became a muscle bodybuilder just by pushing a big old millstone. Yeah. And that's what happened to us by lifting buckets of slop.
I'm sure he was chasing some chickens too, which is apparently a great workout. Too.
It's a great workout.
Rocky
It helps
showing
you-
us that.
Gives you that agility.
Faster than grease
for
lightning.
Gymnastics.
Yeah.
Yeah, like amazing. Once you get all those muscles, your balance is just perfect.
And your hand-eye coordination just follows suit. So because you have the muscles.
Yep, because of the muscles.
But we never found out what
your
happened.
floor exercises will be perfect.
But we never found out what happened with
Mean Lady Baylor.
Yeah, she wanted to buy that farm.
And just tease
I guess the
that
eggs
thread.
were enough.
Maybe the eggs were
She
enough.
reconsidered, like, these are good ass eggs.
And she and
Did you ever have farm fresh eggs? They're really good.
Oh, these eggs are so rich.
or the poor were oppressed once again,
Yeah.
which is probably what happened.
Or because you felt so great about the sports, you started to volunteer going back.
Oh,
Every summer, and then Uncle Norbert put you to seducing her so that she wouldn't,
Or because you had the muscles threatening her.
threatening her, and then you threw
Miss
it,
Barlow.
and then you threw Craig's Jaguar at her.
Oh yeah, that Jaguar's still there. You gotta- Oh, what a tangled web of Moo Mud, Ohio.
Oh yes, the
I don't know, man.
Real Lives Moo Mud.
Moo Mud sounds like a very interesting place to live.
Real Housewives of Moo Mud? Yes. Oh, how many ad breaks we got on this thing? All right, so we're going way back.
We're gonna go way back after that ending, to see what happens on our bus ride to Moo Mud, where we had decided to purchase a chicken sandwich, but then not eat it right away.
Is it possible?
Also, it was kind of our fault. We didn't specify no flies in the mayonnaise. That's what I say every time I go to Subway. Mayonnaise, please. Hold the flies.
Yeah, and then they
hold the flies.
They take the scoop away from the gray mayonnaise and into the regular colored mayonnaise, and then they put it on the sandwich.
You don't want the Kermit special?
Nope.
All right. Stacy's very anti-eating bugs.
My least favorite part of this whole book is that mayonnaise. Of all the things that happen.
Yeah.
All right, so we are going to we're going to stay with the bus after the bus breaks down and hope for the tow truck.
And hope a tornado doesn't come along.
Yeah,
I'm loving this picture already.
it's a pretty great picture.
Got a good one?
Yeah, it's so great. We will talk about it after this page. You slump down in your seat and close your eyes as you wait for the tow truck to arrive. You try to sleep, hoping to make time go faster so you won't die of boredom.
Wow.
You're able to close your eyes, but you can't close your nose. The fat woman sitting next to you is eating a salami and onion sandwich. It stinks.
It stinks.
It stinks.
And it's just covered in mayonnaise with flies.
It's covered in mayonnaise and flies. At least the mayonnaise came with these new chocolate flies.
It's a local delicacy.
Poor Stacy.
Insect Cafe. Whoa.
You open your eyes. She put too much mustard on it, and it's oozing out of the sides and all over her fingers. You look over at the large, red-faced man sitting across the narrow aisle. He's sound asleep, snoring away.
Did you say grape faced?
Rape.
Red-faced man. Oh, okay. Seated across the narrow aisle. Did it sound like grape?
You said rape.
I thought grape. Our sound engineer definitely thought it was the other word.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Good old rape face.
We sang
That rape face man.
Oh,
That's what I heard too, Dave.
Okay, I meant to say red-faced man.
yikes.
All right.
Grape. I heard grape, so we're good.
Well,
Sorry.
Nick thought he said red. Some people heard grape. Most people heard sexual assault.
So anyway, he's snoring.
He's sound asleep, snoring away with his grape face. With every breath, he tilts more in your direction. You wonder if you should wake him up before he falls on top of you. Because you don't want the rape-faced man to fall on top of you.
Nope.
No, why did I do that? Suddenly, it's getting dark.
Oh.
Several people have stood up in the front of the bus and are looking at something up the road. You see it. A black spiraling column stretching up into the clouds. Tornado! Someone screams. You should run outside to take some cover somewhere.
Yep.
But something tells you you'd be safer on the bus.
Nope.
You're not sure what to do.
If you run out of the bus, turn to page 60. If you stay on the bus, turn to page 14.
Now Brian's the one that did the report in 4th grade on
Yes,
tornadoes.
that's
So
right.
I think
Hates tornadoes.
we should take his advice.
Yes, you do want to, in this case, the safest thing is to try to find the lowest point possible, get in a ditch. Do not go under a bridge. That actually makes the wind worse.
I heard that. That's a
think that-
myth.
No,
Yeah.
you go into you go into a low spot.
The lowest spot possible and pray to whatever God you worship.
And grab that lady's sandwich too.
Grab that lady sandwich because it looks
Yeah.
fucking delicious.
it sounds way better than
Right.
a fly chicken.
Yeah. So there is a delightful picture. This is the first time we're going to actually talk about a picture. You can
All right.
probably maybe zoom
We'll
in on
put that up in the somewhere.
We'll put it
so you
up
can
on
see it.
somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
So let's talk about this picture for a second. There is a fat woman, and she is wearing a wonderful polka dot dress, and she is eating what looks like a delicious sandwich. So you can get the fuck over it because that looks really good.
Yeah.
and I want it. My favorite part of this picture, though, is the bag of groceries that she has with her, which looks like it's got celery and extra salami in it, just in case there's not enough salami on her sandwich.
Wow.
Thanks, Dave.
Wow.
Thanks, Dave.
And like this is not like a city transit bus too, so she's not like going home.
No,
this is
like a Greyhound.
it's a
or-
Greyhound
yeah.
bus. So why does she have groceries with her?
Well, for more sandwiches.
Right.
Yes.
They don't have the kind of salami she likes in Moomud.
Yeah.
Got to go over to Crack Boy. I don't know.
Yes, crack boy.
know.
Crack boy sandwiches.
What is it?
Okay.
I'm thinking of like crack corn and then like I don't know. Let's not go into it. Crack boy. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, rape face. Our most controversial episode yet.
Okay. So we've decided to run out of the bus because that is definitely what you should do,
do.
in a tornado is get out of a vehicle, whatever vehicle you're in, go into the lowest spot you can get, a drainage ditch, whatever. Do not go under bridges. Do not stay in your vehicle. Do not try to outrun it. Just get out and duck and cover. Okay.
Tornado safety with Nick Fear.
Be sure to yell tornado. That's important.
I just like you're such an asshole. I love this.
Oh no.
All right.
Don't tell me we're like pushing other people out of the way as we got out of the bus. Oh, we are.
You deserve all these things that are happening to you.
That's why we're having the worst day.
You race past the other passengers and push open the door. Come back, someone yells, but you don't look back. And you don't look at the tornado tearing down the road. You just jump in a ditch and slither on your stomach through the muck, groping desperately for something to hold on to so you won't be sucked up into the air by the pressure. You're almost blinded by dirt being kicked around in the wind. The tornado thunders in your ears. You're afraid they'll pop with the pressure. At last, your hands find the gnarled roots of a tree sticking out of the mud. You flatten your body against the bottom of the ditch and hold on for life. The noise is deafening now. The wind lashes at your hair and your clothes, and you feel your lungs filling with dust. You start to choke, and you know you can't hold on another second when suddenly The wind stops. You crawl to your knees, coughing violently. Then you climb to your feet and look around. The tornado is gone. But it took the bus.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
And everyone inside.
Oh.
with
Holy
it.
cow!
You are traumatized for life.
Because you did nothing to save them.
Well,
you
what could
left
you
them
do?
behind.
They made the wrong choice.
But we didn't say anything. We could have said, "Come on, guys."
Yeah, I could have said, follow me. Nope.
No, they're adults. They could have figured it out.
You have some cuts and scratches, but at least you're able to walk. And right now, that's your only choice.
Yeah.
Wearily, you set out on foot. If you're lucky, you'll make it to your uncle's farm by sunup. You just hope it wasn't blown away by the tornado, too.
So now we got
I feel
survivor's
like you
guilt.
should be trying to get to authorities maybe first before going to your uncle's farm to
might
report
be-
that an entire bus full of people is now dead.
You don't know they're dead.
They're in Oz, Ron.
Okay.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
possible.
Oh, look
we
at this.
should have gotten on this.
This is the first time this has happened. It brought us right back to a choice.
Oh.
Even though it's very early in the morning, you see signs of activity as you finally near your Uncle Norbert's ramshackle house.
Oh, look at that.
You've
doesn't
now
happen.
forgotten entirely about that bus of people, and you're okay with life.
Yo, you'll have PTSD, I'm sure.
The place looks just the way you remember it. Peeling paint, sagging porch, broken TV antenna dangling over the edge of the roof. But you're plenty glad to see it. You can't wait to get into a nice hot shower and wash the muck and slime off your weary body. Not to mention the dried blood from the numerous cuts and scratches you've gotten since you left home yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I guess the tornado took care of that
Yep.
this time.
Just in the front door creaks open and a tall, broad figure in a greasy overalls appears. Hi, Uncle Norbert, you say. Uncle Norbert scowls. Where have you been? Had a few weather delays, you said. Not even... What? That's what you... Hold on, I'm going to slow this down.
Yeah,
Uncle Norbert scowls. Where have you been? Had a few weather delays.
No.
You callously mentioned the death of everybody on your bus as weather delays.
Yeah. You're in shock.
Just then, you hear voices shouting and hoofbeats rapidly approaching. Your uncle's enormous black bull thunders into view. Head lowered, its vicious-looking horns ready to strike. The bull is bucking and snorting. It's only about 40 feet away. There's no place to hide. You could stay where you are and hope the bull ignores you. Or you can make a run for it and hope it doesn't catch up with you.
I guess
Well, we
we
stood our ground last.
We stood our ground last
I think
time.
we got to
Let's
know
just
what.
run.
And that just leads us to, a couple other choices, but I say we
Say run.
This is unusual
Run.
for one of these books because
Yeah,
they're
we-
like keeping the timeline. Also, like the tornado was so
Right. I actually
right.
really appreciate this.
Yeah.
Lots of times it's completely different.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also appreciate the fact we're not acknowledging the fact that an entire bus was picked up and
Yeah.
They
Especially
should've
Salami
known
Lady.
better.
'cause
They're
that's,
in Oz.
I would have told Salami Lady to come with me.
Yeah, because that
I would like
lady...
bring your groceries, that
Bring your
sandwich,
groceries,
No,
bring
man.
that sandwich.
adorable polka dot dress.
Yes.
You're
She
coming
would've-
with me.
She would've slowed us down. Slowed us down.
Because the world needs sandwich artists like you, lady. Because that was an amazing sandwich. Because you know what, everybody? If mayonnaise and mustard aren't coming out the sides of your sandwich,
You did it wrong.
did not put enough on.
I'm legit hungry now. Just
And
Well, we got some mayonnaise with flies in our sandwich.
see,
Wait,
there it
there
goes.
goes.
That took it away.
Now you're better.
So we're gonna this
run.
time we're presented the same choice. We're gonna see what happens when we run from the bull.
We're running.
You can't just stand there. So you run as fast as you can towards the house. The angry bull charges after you. It's right behind you. As you dash inside and slam the door, you think you're safe. But the splintering of wood tells you you're not. The bull is in the house. A heavy china cabinet falls. And you hear the sound of breaking glass.
Cliche shatter everywhere.
right?
You run through the kitchen. The bull follows you. You run into the china shop. The bull follows you. Knocking over a table loaded with big crocks and bowls. Up ahead, there's a staircase. You race up the stairs as the bull crashes through the back of the wall and out the house.
Okay, that's not your fault.
No,
that
it's
is
not.
entirely the bull.
I guess I have to take back how appalled I was before when I was like, why don't you just run in the house? Well, here's why.
Yeah. If it followed us up the stairs, I was going to be like, okay, what is happening?
An hour later, you're standing with your Uncle Norbert and your cousins, Dora and Mitchell, surveying the damage. A rubble of broken glass and dishes and splintered wood. Looks like you'll be coming back next summer, too, your uncle says.
Bullshit.
No.
Bullshit. That's your bull.
Yes.
So's you can pay for all this damage. That night, you lie awake,
Fuck you, Uncle Norbert.
thinking about how you'd like to run away.
This family sucks.
Yeah, they really do. But hey, Mrs. Baylor's begonias are just fine.
No, they're still destroyed. 'cause the bull-
Yeah, you got them too.
Maybe they're not, though, because you distracted the bull to destroy
Right.
their
Yeah.
house
Yeah.
rather than somebody else's property.
Which again is their
But I
problem.
thought that's where the bull came from. Was her house? It was running.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Just
maybe.
give Uncle Norbert a dozen eggs. It'll be fine.
Yeah, and an apology.
Yeah.
You heave a big sigh. You'd like to run away, but without any money or place to go, it doesn't make much sense. The next morning at breakfast, your Uncle Norbert is unusually cheery. At first, you think it's just that he's enjoying his eggs so much.
They are
I
good
really
eggs.
like eggs.
Though it's hard to see how, since he fried them for only a few seconds before slopping them onto his plate and then squirting on butterscotch sauce.
Interesting.
Come on.
Very interesting
Am I
choice
the-
there, Norbert.
So I've been imagining him as Vincent D'Onofrio from Men in Black. Has anyone else had that image in their head?
Edgar.
Edgar?
Edgar, yeah. Pre alien possession. Or maybe post.
Or maybe post.
Oh.
Yeah.
could be.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he is putting butterscotch sauce on his eggs.
Yeah, it's true.
Sugar. I need some water. I got to put the butterscotch and syrup on my eggs.
I apologize to our
Vincent D'Onofrio performance
ASMR
ever.
listeners.
Fine. He's just offered now.
We're gonna clean out the pond today.
He says between slurps.
What have I done?
First, we'll slip open the dam, and it'll take about an hour for the water to drain out, and then we'll get to work.
Still hungry,
Is
Stacy?
that better?
At this, your cousin Mitchell starts crying. I don't want to, Papa. He wails.
Oh, great.
You wonder why he's so upset. Later that morning, when the pond has been drained, you stand at the edge and stare at the muddied objects on the bottom. There are a couple of dozen truck tires, a lot of pig bones,
Oh,
an old refrigerator, a couple of waterlogged mattresses,
and those missing hikers from
2 washing machines,
what?
5 or 6 old TV sets,
Holy cow.
and the rusted remains of a 1965 Dodge pickup. A lot of tin cans and broken bottles. And worst of all, the remains of a dead cow.
Oh,
There's a lot more, too. But you can't look at it any longer.
yeah, that's
You're feeling kind of sick. Mitchell stands there next to you, sobbing.
Oh, was
They
it his
just
cow?
throw their garbage into the pond.
Yeah, they're garbage people.
Your Uncle Norbert, holding a bunch of tangled ropes in his arms, paces up and down.
Come on, what's the trouble?
I regret this immensely.
I don't.
We can pull the big stuff out with this block and tackle.
Then Mitchell hears this. He wails louder than ever.
What is? Was
The
it his-
truth is, you feel like doing the same. Your uncle, red-faced and mumbling with bugs crawling out of his eyes. Under his breath, throws down his armful of rose.
All right, if you're gonna be just babies, close up the dam and we'll put it off till next year.
You're glad to hear your Uncle Norbert say this, though you know you'll never be able to walk past the pond again without feeling sick.
What was the plan to get the truck out?
They were going to haul it with a rope. That night, you decide to run away.
About time.
Even though you have no money, no place to go. You're all packed and ready to hit the road the next morning when a letter comes from your family in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah, they're enjoying their time.
Everyone has written a part of it. Your big brother writes that there's a lot of great kids around where they're staying. He says he's learning to ride a sailboard, and that's too bad you can't be there. Your little sister writes that she's been horseback riding and swimming, and she also says it's too bad you can't be there. Your mom writes that the pineapples are so good, she hardly wants to eat anything else.
And she says she's glad you're not there.
She sends you a hug and a kiss and hopes you're taking care of yourself. And your dad writes, Hawaii is great, but it's not that much fun without you. We're leaving for home tomorrow. I'm enclosing bus fares so you can get back home by the time we do. I'm sure Uncle Norbert won't mind if you don't stay any longer. When you read this, you jump in the air. Your worst adventure is almost over. From here on in, things can only get better. The end.
Weird.
Once again, we have not paid for the roof.
Yeah.
Or the additional damages that
Right.
apparently it's our fault because of the bowl. But
Kind of a shitty letter to write. They're like, oh, everything's great here. Wish you could be here. Well, you're the ones who didn't let us go to Hawaii, assholes.
yeah, it was a weird one.
There's
I
no
thought that
one,
was a
there's no
strange ending.
heroes in this story, are there?
Hey, Mom, Dad, I saw a tornado take an entire bus of people off with
Yeah,
it.
I've
I'm
had
not dealing with it so well.
And a cow corpse.
Yeah. And a bunch of pig bones.
It felt
Yeah.
kind of like Norbert just brought them there just to torture them. Like it
Yeah.
was psychological punishment.
Well, the way that his son,
'Cause
like
he
his
gave
cousin
up.
Mitchell is crying.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrifying.
and he did not push the cleaning of it too hard. Like he just felt like he just came there like, look at it, boys. Look at it.
Do you think Uncle Norbert threatens his children with throwing them in
Yes.
the pond
Oh,
and
definitely.
forgetting about them?
Definitely.
I think
Yes.
maybe the cow was Mitchell's or something. It was like his beloved animal.
Probably.
Maybe.
Ew.
I don't know.
Could be.
All right.
Well,
So that's one way this book could end. And we're going to go ahead and find out a couple other ways this book could end next week.
yay.
On Turn to Page Fun. Thank you once again with me today. We're my good friend, Mr. Brian Bear. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank
Brian,
you.
what's going on with you?
Oh, stuff probably.
Okay.
There'll be some holiday shows. Most of the groups I do performances with, I imagine they'll find some place. Ampersand Theater is probably going to have some kind of holiday show. Boozy Bard, Shakespeare Raw is going to be having some. We're doing a Christmas Carol, I believe.
Yep.
Oh, yes, yes. So if you're in Milwaukee, type into your computer faces Boozy Bard and look up where their holiday shows are. It's a wonderful little project with local actors in town where we take a Shakespeare show usually, but for Christmas, we're taking a Christmas Carol.
Yep.
We are abridging it to about 90 minutes and about 13 parts. We throw those parts into a hat, and then we perform them live for you with our scripts in our faces while we drink because we have drinking problems.
And some weird guy does a parody every time.
Yes,
parody
he is
song
weird.
in the middle.
Yes, and a weird guy does a parody song every time in the middle. That's you, Brian.
Yay.
So come see that.
Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you.
What's going on with you?
Probably that same thing.
Okay, cool. And thanks again to Mr. Ron Swanson, who is not Nick Offerman.
No.
Nope.
Ron, anything going on this week?
I will also be doing the Boozy Bard show.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And I'm your host, Nick Fear, saying thank you so much to Sexy Hackers for giving us this wonderful space and for making a delightful t-shirts. Hey, if you're not done Christmas shopping and you need an idea to shop for your loved ones on a holiday, that's right. Go ahead and go to Sexy Hackers and purchase for them a wonderful, comfortable t-shirt that has a fantastic screen print design on it, be it characters from No Dice or Turn to Page Fun logos or any number of fun, geeky, nerdy logos for your friend or loved one. They will love it because they're so comfortable and efficacious. I like to say the efficacious thing because of that one show where the guy breathes through his nose too hard. Thank you to David Lane for doing all of our engineering.
And to Oni. Can we
Thank
give
you
thanks
to Oni for sniffing around and chiming in.
Yep.
Our studio corgi. That's right. Don't
right.
you wish you had a studio corgi?
He's not. Now he's
And now he's being good.
He's like
And
Michigan J. Frog over there.
Thank you. Most importantly, so much thank you for being you, listening to us read to you. And with that, I'm Nick Fearer, and I will see you next week through your ears.
SexyHackers.com! Stream Team!